Okay, so we're gonna compare Zillow leads versus Facebook leads. Which one is actually better and what's the better investment? So as a team leader that spent thousands of dollars per month on each lead source, I wanna go over my experience and kind of share the pros and cons of each lead source. That way you can decide which one is best for you. So, Zillow leads versus Facebook leads, which one is better? So, I want to jump into a complete comparison. That way you can get an idea of which one's right for you. Because some agents do really well with Zillow leads and other agents do really well with Facebook leads. So, let's dive into the complete breakdown. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the leads time frame, right? Now, I feel like many agents get frustrated with Facebook leads because they don't realize the time frame and the stage of the buying process that they're in. A Facebook lead is going to have a very different buying cycle than a Zillow lead does. And here's why. When you boost posts and you get in front of people's newsfeed and they click on houses, their intent is a lot different than somebody that's on Zillow searching for homes directly in a certain market and actually reaching out to Zillow to go see a house. So the lead is oftentimes way different, and you have to treat the lead in a different way because they're in a different stage of the buying cycle. So with Zillow leads, you can get faster closings in my experience. You can close people that are looking to move in the next 2 to 3 months with Zillow leads. So if you need fast closings, this is probably a better avenue. Facebook leads, they're gonna take more nurture time, and on average, we see about 6 to 9 months. So by the time you get the lead, you first call the lead, they're probably not gonna buy a house for the next 6 to 9 months. Now, that's not every single lead, so I don't suggest that you just kind of play it low-key and lackadaisical because I've seen Facebook leads that have closed in 60 days. But on average, you're looking at a much longer closing window than you are with a Zillow lead. The next thing I want to go into is cost. So as you know, Zillow leads can be expensive. This is one of the main telltale things. Many agents joke. When I started buying Zillow leads, when I first started real estate, I was getting leads for $11 a lead. Right now in my market, leads can be $200 or $300 per lead. So that's something you have to look into. You want to do your research and find out how much the average lead is in your market and price it out. And then you have to actually figure out how many leads it's going to take you on average to close a deal. So if it's going to take you 10 leads at $300 a piece, your average closing is going to cost you $3,000. If you're in a market where your average commission is $4,000, well, you're doing a lot of work to make $1,000. So you want to make sure you do the math and figure out how many leads on average it's going to take you to be able to get a client and close a deal. With Facebook leads, they definitely win in this category because Facebook leads can be had for anywhere from $10 to $15. I've even seen it at much better rates. If you get really good at copywriting and advertising and you create a really good lead capture page, I've seen some agents get Facebook leads as low as $5 to $10 per lead. So you can get a lot of quantity for the same amount as that one Zillow lead if you just buy Facebook leads. So as far as costs go, in most cases and in most markets, you're gonna get a lot more leads for the money if you go with Facebook leads. Next, I wanna talk about quality. So what's the actual quality of the leads that you're getting? So with Zillow, I find that the quality is a lot better. And in most cases, Zillow is gonna actually direct connect you and you're gonna have a live conversation as soon as that lead comes in. So the quality of Zillow leads, despite what many agents say, is very high. The problem is that they're very expensive, so you don't get a lot of quantity. So basically what I found is the quality of Zillow kind of balances out with the quantity of Facebook leads that you get. So although you get less Zillow leads and you get more Facebook leads, it kind of balances out to the same thing. The one benefit to Facebook leads is if you're nurturing those leads, you have a chance to have more swings at bat and have more conversations and build more relationships with people. Whereas with Zillow, you don't get as many connections and as many conversations. So if you're trying to build a big pipeline and build up a big list of people and start churning business in the future, I would say Facebook leads is the clear winner here because you can spend a lot more time doing lead nurture and a year or two, you're gonna have a big, massive pipeline of business, and that's just gonna keep spitting out commission checks. Last but not least, I wanna talk about skill level, because each one of these lead sources requires a very different skill level, and if you don't have a lot of sales experience, Facebook leads will be a lot more challenging for you. Zillow leads, on the other hand, are very easy to convert. I found with Zillow leads that they're one of the easiest lead sources to convert. You get a live transfer. If you know how to, ask questions and provide value on the first call and really know how to sell the person into believing that you're the perfect expert to help them, this lead source is a home run and it's one of the easiest ones to convert. Again, the problem with Zillow leads is they're so expensive. When I first started, I was getting these leads between $11 and $21 a lead. That was a slam dunk, it was a home run, and it was probably one of the most profitable lead sources I ever tapped into. But now the leads are so expensive because there's such high demand on it that, it might not make sense for your business. So check your market out individually and see what works and what doesn't. Because I find a lot of agents, they close a lot of deals with Zillow leads, but if they're not crunching their numbers, they're really not making any money. Because if you're putting all that money out and your profit margin is really slim, you're working really hard for not a lot of money. With the Facebook leads, I find that the skill level has to be much higher, but it can be much more profitable because of that. With Facebook leads, you're gonna have to learn how to write ads, you're gonna have to learn how to do lead capture, and you're gonna have to learn how to nurture leads at a high level. What I suggest you do if you're gonna go the Facebook route is get a system called Follow Up Boss. So Follow Up Boss is a CRM that allows you to nurture your clients and basically put tasks in the system, and it will remind you every time you're supposed to follow up with that particular lead. So it's a CRM, but it's a really well organized CRM, and you can build some really good follow-up systems within that to stay on top of these leads. Because again, you can make a killing with Facebook leads, but if your follow-up is not right, you're gonna waste a ton of money because the leads won't convert. Because on average, again, you're looking at 6 to 9 months time to get this person into a house. So if you're not staying on top of them, what I found happen is you might have a really good conversation on month 1. They're not ready to come into the office. So you have to figure out how you're gonna nurture that lead and stay in front of them and build a relationship for 6 to 9 months. Because what's gonna happen is if you do that the right way, you're gonna get random phone calls and they're gonna say, hey, Chris, we've been talking. I wanna get out there and look at houses. Can I meet you at your office to do a buyer consultation? And I wanna get out there and buy something in the next month or 2. But again, you have to figure out how to stay in front of these people for 6 to 9 months, not be annoying and continually add value. So if you're managing hundreds of these Facebook leads, it can become challenging. So having a system like Follow Up Boss is a total game changer, and it's something that you definitely need to look into. So basically the way I built my funnel out for Follow Up Boss with these Facebook leads is the lead comes in, it turns into a nurture. Once you have a good conversation with them, they go into individual buckets. So I can do another video on how to set up your Follow Up Boss system, but they go into individual buckets and they go into either a hot client, a warm client, or a cold client. A cold client is 9 to 12 months out. A warm client is 3 to 6 months out, and a hot client is less than 90 days. They want to buy a house in less than 90 days. So once I get them in them buckets, I follow up with them until they come into the office and do a buyer consultation. At that point, they become a client. Once they become a client, they get our best attention. They become a VIP. They get out there, they look at houses, they go under contract. Once they're under contract, they close, and then we get a commission. So this is a really good way to systemize and organize your business to have consistent repeat business. So that's the goal. With leads, you want to make sure you're building a system. That way you can have a predictable income and you can build a sustainable business, because that's the most important thing with real estate. And that's why so many agents fail, is because they can't figure out how to get consistent business. So doing this will definitely help set you in that direction. And I would love to hear your feedback. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know what lead source you're gonna try. Drop it in the comment section below. And if you like real estate content and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with a real estate friend. Thanks so much for watching, and you have an awesome night.